best is, a 7-footer who can shoot it, pass it, rebound it, defend, and will have a good time wherever he is, maybe in Miami. Welcome to the show, Hunter Dickinson. Hunter, this is a long time coming. Let's be honest about this. You've been ducking us for about 2 years. The ducking allegations are still real, my friend.
I don't think I was ducking. I didn't really formally get another invite on here.
It was an open one, Hunter. It was open. It's been open for so long. We're not gonna. It's okay though. You're here now. This is a really full circle moment for us.
Kinda, yeah, for real.
A little bit. A lot has changed since the last time we talked, Hunter. You were once my center, and then you left, and then my team won 7 games, and we fired our coach. You are now the center on the #1 team in the country. So I kind of feel like you're my ex who like married a millionaire, and I'm just a single chubby alcoholic. Is that a fair comparison?
I'm not gonna lie, Greg. I didn't know you were a Michigan fan until about 2 years into my Michigan career. Like junior year is when I figured out that you were a Michigan fan.
Sounds about right. He's a little bit fair weather, but let's not talk about that other single-digit win team. Hunter, what has it been like this summer with the team, with what you guys done in the transfer portal, the additions you made? It seems like Coach Self has honestly had a chip on his shoulder. He ain't like all the talk they made about him last season. What has it been like this summer so far for yourself and your team?
Yeah, I think you called it. Like Coach Self kind of has that chip on his shoulder right now. I think a lot of the guys who are coming back from last year kind of had that same chip where, we knew we underperformed pretty big last year. And I think with the guys that we have coming in, the transfers and also the freshmen, I've been really excited in practice seeing, all the new guys and all their skill level and talent. And I think Coach put together a really good roster.
Yeah, and speaking of this year's team, I know y'all are already putting together a pretty tough schedule. There's one game that's of particular interest for me. I'm a Tar Heel. I know November 8th, Fog Allen, UNC's coming to town. I got to ask, what are you looking forward to about that game? And, I mean, I think y'all are the #1 team in the country. I'm nervous to see what happens to my Tar Heels going on the road to Lawrence. But, like, if there's anything that you see in that matchup with UNC, like, where could they maybe give Kansas some trouble?
See, I thought you were going to go somewhere else with that one game, but
no.
UNC. I mean, it's always great to play another blue blood. I'm 0-2 in my career versus them, so I'm glad that we get to play them in Allen. Hopefully, that'll give us a little bit of advantage. But they're a really good team. They made some noise in the portal. They got a lot of good guards coming back, and I think that'll really test us early on with defending the perimeter. And I think that's a great way to kind of open up the season playing against one of the best teams in the country.
No more Mondo, though, hurts me, man. I would have loved to see y'all get to play against each other one more time, but maybe it's time for Mondo to move on. Makes sense.
Yeah, no, we're wishing him all the luck in this coming up here in the next day or so.
Hunter, I want to get some inside information because you talked about all those new guys, all of them high profile that have joined you guys this offseason. Has there been anything somebody has done that has surprised you? Didn't know they had that in their game or anything like that?
I mean, I could go down the list of everybody who's been surprising. I'd probably say Rakis has probably been the most surprising prospect that we've got in just terms of, we didn't know what to expect getting him. And I think the coaches and everybody can agree that he's probably going to steal some minutes this year in the rotation with just how good he's played offensively, but I think defensively, most especially. He's been really good at just picking up full court, and in the summer, that's kind of rare. I think Shaquille's athleticism, he's bouncy as hell. And so I think he'll be really good for us to be able to give Juan a little bit of a break at that backup spot thing, but he can also play a little bit of combo. Just giving Juan a break out there so Juan doesn't have to try to play 40 minutes every game.
So we're 15 picks into the NBA draft this year. 2 different Big Ten bigs have gone. Zach Edey and Khalil Ware now 15 to the Heat. You played against Zach Edey. I don't believe you've ever played against Khalil Ware unless I'm forgetting something.
No, we played this year.
Oh, you did play this year. I forgot. First off, are you surprised? I think both these guys went a little higher than maybe draft pundits would think. Edey 9th and Khalil Ware 15th. Are you surprised by where they've gone in the draft?
I was a little bit surprised. Like, obviously, I don't think anybody kind of had Zach in the top 10 of their mocks, but super happy for him. I've heard of all the things that he's done in terms of just living in the gym, kind of picking up basketball really late, but the growth that he's made from freshman year to senior year, I think they put that graphic up of just, how much he's grown with his game and everything. Really impressive, super happy for him. Purdue did a really good job with him. And I think he'll be able to be successful in the league. I think he went to a really good spot. He went to Memphis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think being able to learn under Steven Adams, I feel like will be really good for him. And I think he'll be in a nice little spot there where he can learn from a veteran big man, kind of learn the ropes. And then Khalil, super athletic, super skilled. I think Carter mentioned it, getting in that Heat organization will be really big for him because the way they develop, the way they have that just kind of that camaraderie, that pedigree, I think would be really good for him to get in that mix.
Do you miss the Big Ten, Hunter?
I do. I really do. Like just going to all those games and everything and being so familiar with the teams, that was a lot of fun. Like I didn't really have to look at the scouting report too much. Like I'd probably look at, the new faces that came in the year before, maybe the freshmen and the transfers. But in terms of the plays and everything, I was really familiar with everything, and it was a lot of fun. So it was good to go back to like Indiana for a game. That gave me some deja vu. And then next year, even though it's a neutral site game versus Michigan State, that'll be a lot of fun. So I do definitely miss it a little bit.
I'm sure that game against Michigan State will be a lot of fun for you.
Yeah, Card, I'm kind of afraid how many points Hunter's going to score against our front courts.
Yeah, you don't want to see Carson Cooper, I guess.
So I want to redeem myself before Hunter gets out of here. If he couldn't tell I was a Michigan fan in the past, at least hopefully by the end of this call, he'll be able to tell I'm a Hunter Dickinson fan still. So I have advocated for much of your career that I think you are an NBA big. I've been known even back to your freshman year. I have said the words, I don't know what Brook Lopez can do that Hunter can't. And some people have said maybe I'm crazy on that. But as I said, 2 Big Ten players have been picked in the top 15. Is it frustrating for you to sit here going into your 5th year in college and know that your name isn't viewed the same way as those guys are?
I wouldn't say it's frustrating because, for the past, I would say, after maybe not my sophomore year, but freshman and then maybe junior, but, even this year, I could have went and then been drafted around, the late 40s, 50s. But for me, my goal was never to get to the league. My goal has always been to stay in the league. And so, I don't want to get there and just try to rush it and be as quick as I can and be in the G League for 3 years and try to develop there. I always wanted to get to the league when I felt like I was the most ready to be able to make an impact right away. And then with NIL, I think without NIL, I would have felt a little bit more rushed to leave. But with NIL, I felt like it's given me that kind of safety blanket to just continuing to get better and better each and every year to the point where after this year, hopefully it ends in a national championship. But after this year, I feel like I will be as ready as I possibly could for the NBA. Because like I said, I don't want to get there and say and put on the uniform and take a couple of preseason pictures. I want to be able to eventually get in the rotation and be able to get some actual minutes there and stay in the league. So that's my goal.
A special guest wanted to say hello. Young Mantis has re-infiltrated the show.
That boy Bent.
I was just about to leave, and I saw Hunter. I was like, "Oh, we met last month."
Yes, sir.
I was walking down the hall. He goes, "That boy Bent." I was like, "Hunter Dickinson." I'm like, "What the heck?" Good dude, great guy. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. It's appreciation.
We appreciate it, Mantis. All right, the final question, then we'll get you out of here, Hunter. We had Coleman Hawkins on our show 2 weeks ago. I know you're no stranger to Coleman. In fact, you tweeted at Coleman when he was visiting Kansas State of, hey, the real school is down the road here in Kansas. Ultimately, Coleman has picked Kansas State. You're going to see him again. I think most college basketball fans know that Coleman has quite the record against you. What is your reaction to Coleman at Kansas State and going to see him again this year?
Sorry, I was looking at who just got drafted. I think in terms of Coleman, I feel like he made a good decision with Coach Tang. For me, tweeting out, I just be bored sometimes on Twitter, man, and I'm always gonna rep heavy the school that I'm at. I think that was very apparent at Michigan with how how supportive and how much of an advocate I was for Michigan in my time. I still love Michigan to this day. But now that I'm at Kansas, like I'm always going to rep Kansas over everybody else, especially our rivals or people that want to rival us. But I mean, I was happy that he went there because that'll make that game really interesting. I think, they made a couple late additions in the portal that they kind of needed, but I think their team kind of really shaped out really good. And now that they got obviously Doug McDaniel, who we all know, but a core, the kid from Kentucky, and now Coleman, I think they got one of the best front courts in the country, and so that'll definitely make that Sunflower Showdown a real good game, and that's what the people of Kansas want anyway. So it'll be fun.
We're on record. We're going to visit for that game, Hunter. So hopefully we'll.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they give us that home and away. But now that we got 16 teams, it gets tricky on how many home and aways you get. But I'd assume that they give it since it's that in-state rivalry.
Maybe we'll visit, Greg. We can't, we get Hunter on. It's not all smooth now. I'm still a little bit upset. It's been too long. I didn't get no round ball invite. I didn't get no type of invite nowhere. It's okay though. I'll get over it.
I thought well, actually, to be fair, the round ball, you guys didn't have a good reputation on the round balls.
No, y'all were my guys. It was misconstrued. Just
what you accuse a guy of inventing ISIS one time, and all of a sudden everybody changes their opinion. It's insane. Hunter, we thank you for being here. I still truly mean this. I'm a huge fan of yours, man. It's been cool to see you go on to have a bunch of success, and I wish you the best this season, my friend. Good luck.
Appreciate that, boys.
Thanks, Hunter, man.
Appreciate it, Hunter. Good luck.
All right, we got.